What's going on, YouTube? So I'm making this video because yesterday was the Flash season 1 finale, and originally I wasn't gonna do a review video about it, but I cannot get this episode out of my head. So I figure, you know what? Let me share it with you guys and we'll talk about it. This conversation that I plan to have with you guys will include spoiler talk. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it and then come back and watch this video, right? I don't even know what to say. Like this episode was so crazy, but it was a very emotional episode, but oh man, just everything behind it was just absolutely crazy. All right, let me start from the beginning. I'm not gonna sit here and go through detail for every scene throughout the episode, but I'm just talk about certain scenes that stuck out to me. So the first scene that stuck out to me pretty much was the beginning, where Barry is talking to Harrison Wells, or AKA Eobard Thawne, and he basically questions him. You find out how far in the future he was born. I don't remember the exact number, but I think he says something like 139 years from now, or something like that. And Eobard was just like, "That's not what you want to ask me. Ask me your question." So Barry asked the question that we all knew he was gonna ask: "Why'd you kill my mom?" And he said the most disrespectful answer that you can give to someone, in my opinion. Just on some, yo, I killed your mom because I hate you. Who says that? So he's just like, I hate you. I went back in time to kill you, and when I couldn't kill you, I figured, you know what? Let me cause a traumatic event for you in your life, so your life will take a different tour. So things will happen differently in your life, and you won't become the Flash. You know what? I'm gonna kill your mother. Who thinks of something like that on the spot? Anyway, fast forward ahead. Pretty much, Barry's just trying to figure out whether or not he should take this trip. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's rewind. He Hey, sorry y'all. Sorry about that, y'all. My girl's cat just kind of like jumped in the shot, so I had to kind of push her away a little bit. But so where was I? Oh yeah, so let's rewind a little bit. I forgot to mention the fact that Eobard pretty much told Barry, like, yo, I'm giving you the opportunity to fix my mistake, to fix what I did. And I'm going to explain to you, that you can go back in time and go save your mom. Because I need for you to go do that so that I can get home. I need you to create the wormhole to go save your mom so that I can use the wormhole to go back to my time in the future. So that's pretty much his plan. So now let's fast forward. And pretty much throughout the entire episode, he's been trying to figure out, like, yo, should I go and do this? It's a huge risk. This is something big. If I go back and save my mom, it's going to completely change everything. Because if you think about it, if he goes to save his mother, he'll never go and live with Joe and Iris. And, it can create like a huge ripple effect. Now, if you're a true DC fan and you've seen Flashpoint or you read the comic books, you know exactly what happens when he goes home. Not goes home, but when he goes to the past to go save his mom. And he's successful at it. So you see exactly what happens, what type of world he created. Anyway, so pretty much that's throughout the episode. It gets real emotional. He's He's talking to Joe. He's talking to Iris. He talks to his father, and these are all very emotional conversations. Fast forward. When he pretty much decides that he's gonna do it, he's talking to Eobard Thawne about how to do it. And, he lets him know, like, yo, the particle accelerator is gonna work this time. It's gonna do what it was always designed to do. All you need to do is run. And long story short, they come up with a plan to do it. Oh boy. Okay, now this is the part that really stuck out to me. Cisco went to go talk to Harrison Wells, right? Because they found out that there was a little issue and he needed his advice on something. Long story short, they talked about something that I was waiting to see if they were going to do. And you find out that Cisco was talking to Harrison Wells and let him know, like, listen, I know that you killed me. So Harrison's looking at him like, what are you talking about? He basically lets him know that he remembers an alternate timeline. And, at first you think that Harrison or Eobard Thawne, whatever you want to call him, I know I'm switching between names, but at first he's like, I'm sorry. And Cisco pretty much is like, yo, I don't need your apology. I don't want your sorry. And again, he says the most disrespectful thing you could say to somebody. Harrison is like, oh, I'm not sorry for killing you. I'm sure if I killed you that there was a good logical reason for me to kill you. I was like, what? So he says, I'm sorry that you're able to remember an alternate timeline because that lets me know that you were affected by the particle accelerator. That lets me know for a fact he's going to become Vibe. And if you don't know who Vibe is, put this video on pause, go to Google, go to Yahoo, go whatever search engine you use, type in Vibe DC Comics, and you will see who Vibe is. He is basically a superhero who has the powers of vibration, pretty much. One of the best ways that I can explain of how his powers work is if you are a Spider-Man fan and you know who Shocker is, how Shocker has like the sonic waves or the vibration waves, that's kind of like what Vibe does. So that lets me know Cisco is going to become Vibe, and I was very curious to see if they were going to do that. So skip ahead a little bit further. Everything is prepped, Barry's ready to run, and once again Harrison is just like, do this for both of us. I believe in you, you could do it. Run, Barry, run. You also find out that he has to go Mach 2. Your boy took off and passes Mach 2, and then they show you the TV version of what the Speed Force looks like from Barry's perspective. My jaw almost hit the floor because I knew what that was as soon as it came up. So Harrison is telling them, like, yo, what you're seeing right now is the Speed Force. You're seeing your past, your present, and your future all at once. And as he's running, like the whole thing, it turns blue, and they're showing images. And I honestly didn't realize this the first time that I saw it. But the images showed his past, present, and future. When it showed his future, it showed the Flash Museum. Like, it showed the statue of the Flash in front of the Flash Museum. And then it showed a girl with blonde hair but blue eyes. And it took me a minute to figure out who that was. And I honestly didn't figure out who it was until I ended up watching another review. And they touched on the main thing that I've been waiting for them to do. And I didn't think that they were going to do it this season. They let you know for a fact that Caitlin Snow will be Killer Frost. I know I'm leaning back and forth, and I know I'm sorry. I'm excited. I've been dying to see her become Killer Frost for the simple fact that in this series she's so chipper. She's so good. She's the innocent bystander in all of this who lost her fiance, and she thought that he died, and he pops up like a year and a half later to find out he really wasn't himself. And long story short, she ends up getting him back. This episode they got married. So she's full of love. She's full of light and hope and all of that. And who she ends up becoming, it says it in the name, Killer Frost. She becomes one of the rogues. She's one of Flash's main bad guys. She's Killer Frost. So it's like, yo, how do you transform the Caitlin Snow that's been in this season 1 to the Killer Frost? I cannot wait to see how they do that. All right. Now, Barry ends up going back in time, right? The jaw dropper for me when he went back in time, because Cisco also told him, listen, there's going to be 3 yous back there. There's going to be the younger you, which is also the past version of you, the future you, and this current you. So he basically said, wait until the future you gets the younger you out of the room before you save your mom. Jump in there right before Reverse Flash kills your mom. So when Barry finally gets back in time, he pretty much popped up in his old room. And he opens up the door and he's looking and he sees the Reverse Flash and Flash fighting and his younger self there and his mom, basically that whole setup. And then you see the future Flash come right in front of his view and looks at the present Barry as the Flash and simply puts his hand up and shakes his head no. No, don't save your mom. Don't do it. What? I know I'm bugging out right now, but oh man. All right. So anyway, long story short, he doesn't save his mom, and he has a very emotional conversation with her as she's dying, because right before future Flash gets his younger self out of the room, Barry stays in the room and he can hear everything that's going on, and he just closes his eyes and you see that he's crying, and you hear when the Reverse Flash stabbed his mom. That was a hard scene to watch, especially if you put yourself in his perspective. So anyway, so he, when everything is said and done, you see that the father's knocked out on the floor, and he comes out, he's talking to his mother, he reveals himself to his mom, and he's crying, she's crying, and then she dies. So they don't show, but he ends up coming back to the present time. He pretty much destroyed the time machine that Harrison Wells was in, which was pretty much a glass bubble. And Harrison is like, yo, you didn't save her, why? And Barry pretty much tells him, yo, I have everything I want right here. They start fighting again, and Harrison gets the upper hand, and right before he kills Barry, you hear a gunshot. So I'm like, yo, who just shot the Reverse Flash? That's a crazy way to shoot him because he wasn't paying attention. Your boy Eddie shot himself. Right in the chest, right here, right in the heart. Talk about a jaw dropper. It was one of those moments that you didn't see coming. You're just my initial reaction, I still remember it. I'm like, oh, anyway, so he ends up dying. Eobard Thawne, Reverse Flash, Harrison Wells, whoever you want to call him, he ends up disappearing from time. pretty much like all you saw was like he was just breaking up, and you saw like white light, and he just pretty much got erased from time. So what ends up happening is, when that's said and done, even though that they were able to close the wormhole as soon as Barry got back, it reopened somehow. Oh, and I can't believe I forgot this. You saw Jay Garrett's hat come out of that wormhole. If you're a Flash fan, a DC fan, you know all about Earth 2. You know all about, like, the Silver Age Flash was Jay Garrett, and he wore this silver hat with like wings here in the corners, and that metal hat came out. Oh man, I damn near lost my mind. That let me know that they could talk about the multi. Matter of fact, it lets me know that the multiverse exists. Do you have any idea what type of storylines that they could come up with? All right, so I need to end this because this video is getting way too long. So, long story short, the wormhole reopened. It pretty much created a black hole. You saw Hawkgirl at the end, and they're like, there's no way to close it. And Barry's like, physically, it's like the tornado. You just got to run around in the opposite direction, And he takes off and goes running up the building, run to the black hole, and you see him circle over a little bit, and he goes in. Show's done. I'm like, how do you end the season like that? I don't know what I'm going to do until season 2, because chances are season 2 is not going to come out. Give or take about maybe October, probably. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. I really don't. Anyway, guys, thank you so very much for sticking with me if you're still here watching this. I'm just hella excited. I'm sorry. Man. I'm still willing to talk about this with you guys, so hit me down below in the comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, what caught you off guard. Hell, let me know if you even cried. Yeah, and let me know if you're as excited as I am, alright? Subscribe, comment, share, like, all that good stuff, alright, y'all? Till next time, I'm out.